Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, there is emerging news that the casual workers at the Deputy President William Samoei Ruto's Kisima farm are protesting against delayed of payments. I think this is in Taita Taveta. And this story was covered by The Nation. And according to what they published, this is what they are saying on this story. Protest at DP Ruto's Kisima farm over delay payment to casuals. Operations on the farm associated with the Deputy President William Ruto in Mata Village, Taita Taveta County have been paralyzed after casual workers went on strike protesting non-payment of wages. Now, according to this story, on Monday, the workers held protest at the Kisima farm gate, claiming they had not been paid for 6 weeks. Those who spoke to Nation Africa said they were fed up with the empty promises from the farm manager. Some of the workers said they had been promised to be paid, but they voted to continue with their strike until they are paid. Mr. Alex Said said farm managers had piled salary arrears without explaining to workers what was happening. We see that business is going on well and the company is not facing any financial crisis. We will not return to work until our salary are paid, he said. Mr. Fred Mashauri, another worker, described low pay. He said that though he had worked on the farm for 5 years, he was yet to be absorbed as a permanent employee. He said workers' daily wage range from 300 to 500. And this is what he's explaining. I have been a casual worker all those years, but there are no hope of being employed permanently. The management is non-committal on this matter, he said. He also complained about alleged inhuman treatment from manager Arie de Pes. Mr. Mashauri said workers had tried in vain to get the company to pay them on time, adding that the manager always violates his part of the bargain. He tells us that if we don't want to work, we should leave. He is very hostile to the workers, he claimed. In 2020, the manager was also accused of diverting water meant for public use onto the farm, denying the neighboring community the precious commodity. Mr. Dempes did not respond to the Nation call and the message sent to his phone. Now we are continuing with our Punchline discussion, but I have a quick request. You might be watching this channel, but you have not yet subscribed. So my humble request, please consider subscribing so that any other time, once we release a video like this one, you will always get notified. Again, to all our channel subscribers and anyone who drop comment, I must say thank you so much for your unconditional support. Again, I'm requesting you to give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend our video to more viewers. Back to our discussion. Now, if this story is something to go by, I asked myself a question. Ruto is promising Mama Mboga heaven on earth. The Deputy President is promising boda and all other small-scale farmers, business people, heaven on earth. So, how is it possible for Ruto to deliver heaven on earth to these people if he cannot be able to pay the workers on his farm through his managers? Because if this is your business, you have employed managers, then you should know what is happening down there before it reaches to a level where people are protesting in public. Because you are a public figure. There is no way it could have reached this level if Ruto is aware of what is happening in his business, in his farm. So that tells you that whatever William Samoei Ruto is promising to Mama Mboga, the boda, small-scale farmers, the small business people there, SMEs, it is not possible to deliver this, because now it is coming evidently clear that William Ruto cannot take care of the people who are working in his farm. In fact, these are casual workers, people who expect payments every week. These are the people who get small salary. Their salary is hand to mouth. But you can see the situation they are going through in the hands of managers at William Samoei Ruto's farm. And even you can see someone is claiming to have worked more than 5 years as a casual staff without being taken as a permanent employee. It means Ruto is avoiding the expense that comes with the permanent employment. So he prefer having casual workers who will work even for 3, 4, 5 years, but not take them permanently. But the same Ruto is coming here to promise millions of jobs to the youth. How can he deliver that if what the nation Africa is talking about is something to go by? Ruto is promising people in his campaign that he is going to deliver them from the M-Shwari and M-Kopa and all those kind of debts if he gets elected, because he's going to provide resources at the exposure. So the question is, if really Ruto is sincere in what he's selling as his agenda, then we are asking one question. If you don't pay someone timely with these small salaries, wages in fact, so are you not the person who is driving these people into M-Shwari? Are you not the same person who is driving these people into the death? Because they have now to borrow so that the family will get food and other basic needs. Sababu hawa watu wanaenda kwa M-Shwari hawa watu wanaenda kukopa hawa, they don't borrow to do business. Most of these people are borrowing this money mainly to buy food. Na kuna wengine small scale farmer, small business people there who maybe will borrow to buy something, then sell, but in return even they are sharing the profit with the person who is lending this money. So I'm suggesting that Ruto, in one way or another, maybe knowingly or unknowingly, he's also driving Kenyans into borrowing. Yet on the other hand, he's promising to deliver them from these debts. So how possible is it on this earth? And in my view, I'm believing that if this is what Ruto has allowed to happen, and we are on electioneering year, then this is going to be one of the tools that will work against William Samoei Ruto. These are Taita Taveta residents. He have candidates in those counties. He has people there who are looking for elective seats. Ruto is looking for their votes. But now this is the kind of information coming from the same area. Of course, it is going to create a perception among the electorate that Ruto is a kind of a dictator, a person who wants to use people, then don't pay them timely. He has failed to show leadership in his own farm. So if the workers cannot trust William Samoei Ruto at such a small farm, then how can the nation trust William Samoei Ruto with the leadership of this country? It is impossible. This is what the electorate is going to conclude in their own mind. So how will it work in the interest of William Samoei Ruto? That is my question today. So before he think of delivering Kenyans from the Fululiza and all those other problems, first of all, he has to understand what his managers are doing down there. Let him deliver the workers who have been employed on his farm first, then Kenyans can trust him with the leadership of this country. Otherwise, every small mistake here is going to have repercussion on ballot. So if Ruto has been involving himself in kind of such business which work in his interest, but at expense ya kufinyilia mwananchi wa kawaida, and then he should know that this election is going to discipline him. He should know that the result is going to be reflected on the ballot after the August 9th general election. And now, this one aside, in the same area, was it 2019, as we have heard in the story there was claims that these farm managers were directing water. And remember, in Taita Taveta, water is like a precious commodity. It means there is scarcity of water in this region. So water is so precious to these people. But these farm managers directed the water into that farm, denying the residents water. So this story now is again popping up. It is again emerging. But it was a 2019 story. So if Ruto, with his business, he has been found himself in a situation whereby he is denying common mwananchi, a Kenyan, whom he want to lead as his president, the basic need like water. You direct it in your farm, then leave people dying, their animals dying, because of lack of drinking water. So it means Ruto does not care about a common mwananchi, if this story is something to go by. It means Ruto has no interest for the common citizens. Because if he had interest, then he could have provided another means for these people to get water. Because he's the deputy president here. He needs to understand what people go about in their basic life. So before you establish a company somewhere and think about the natural resources in that area you want to use, think about the residents. What impact does it have on the common mwananchi? So things might backfire on ballot against our deputy president, William Samoei Ruto, because of such practice that is coming out, the real Ruto in him, the kind of leadership he can take over in this country in case he gets elected. I don't know what to think about this, but that's my view. So let us have a continuation of this conversation through the comment section. Otherwise, thank you so much for listening to me up to this far. May good God bless you, and see you in our